Coming live from Self Love Lounge. Yeah. My partner Dre. Give me the beat. I'm gonna talk to him. Look. Now as I stand here on my feet, I ask myself, do history repeat? I know it do, but this is deep. From the slaves to the streets, from the cotton to the concrete, you give me Willie Lynch vibes. From that white man you hide, but you would kill me for my fucking ride. That's that envy you can't hide. That's that meet me outside, can let it go cause of your fucking pride. Back in the day, they take two field slaves, turn them against each other, something like the Django days. Whichever one was still alive, that's the one that went. The dead slave, he was gone, you won't see him again. And nowadays, they take two rap niggas, start beef, move out the way, then clap niggas. You better know your weapon good if you aim in sight. And if you kill a kid by accident, you die tonight. You niggas so tough and Zimmerman is still around, but you will pay a couple K to knock your brother down. You think that God ain't even fake? Until you die and reawaken, your soul done made it through them gates of hell, they await you. And everything you ever feared, that's that shit that's gonna take you. And all them demons that you claim, then took the sane out your brain. Now it's time for you to feel the flames. You see them demons like the streets. You can praise them all you want, but in the end you meet defeat. Open your eyes to the truth. But most of y'all can't do that cause them lies be just as fake as you. Been spitting facts all my life. Your brain gotta watch for bullets, but your back you gotta watch for nice. Fuck nigga, you need to listen. I'm competing with the old me. You look at me as competition. I never thought I'd see the day when I would get off on this microphone and say this shit I'm about to say. But hey, it need to be said and they like damn right. Got on my knees, prayed to God just the other night. Help me win the fight against my own kind. And if Black Lives Matter, niggas colorblind. They in denial when they hate it when you speaking facts. But a race war ain't the reason why I got the strap. Don't get it fucked up, cause anyone can feel the shell. But not just anyone gonna kill me for my clientele. Folks be seeking all these questions but don't want the answers. The last time we stuck together was the Black Panthers. But since then, it's a block for a block. They get on TikTok and make a song about a dead op. To be a rapper now you need a bulletproof whip. No other genre like this. Now ain't this some shit? You ignorant. Get on the gram, you don't think twice. And make a joke about him fighting for his fucking life. So many of them throw rocks, then they hide their hands. But this reality, not Meta or the Central Land.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. Let's talk about it. Hey, man. I just want to talk about some random stuff. Ain't no specific topic. What up, Dominique? Ain't no specific topic, but I was just telling people, don't persecute Tank. Young black brother, he's been vindicated. His girl came out and told the truth. But, you know, we had, especially black content creators, putting his mug shot up, having discussions about his past, like not even giving this dude a chance. But them same content creators, I don't see them giving Andrew Tate that smoke. This dude been arrested in Romania for sex trafficking. You know, that's what I'm saying. We got to do better. We got to give each other black privilege. You know, ain't nobody else gonna give it to us, so we need to give it to ourselves. You know, and then we just had a powerful meeting in Doey's chat. Shout out to Doey's with Judge Joe Brown and Papa Duck. And something I've been saying for a long time, you know, they was having a discussion and, you know, at the end, I feel they agreed to disagree, but, you know, it was tension in there, but it was respectful built, you know, nothing got crazy or out of control, but the tension and just accusations, right? They only, and then I think to backslide real quick about that tank. I think one of them. I know one of them got threw out, but that's what I'm saying. Like us as black people, us as people in general. I'm gonna say that, but really black people, man. And I ain't throwing the case on all black people because I don't do it. But we gotta, when stuff happen, we gotta start giving each other the benefit of the doubt. Even if a person do have a past, just let it play out. That's what everybody else do. Because we leave the door open for other people to persecute us when we do it to ourselves. We leave that door open, and that's what happens. That's how this whole imagery of people that look like me exists in the world now. First they did it, but then we start doing it to each other, so why would they stop? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But on the tip with in Doa's chat, you got the older generation and the younger generation, and they both got experiences. But you seeing that tension come, and that's why I say now we need bridges. Someone who can understand the older's point and the younger's point and bring it together. Because if you're talking about building, if you're talking about creating something, it's not just one way to do it. It's multiple ways. And instead of us arguing about who has the better way or who has the right way, we need to look at all these different ways and put them together. Because if you're afraid of someone stopping you while you're creating a building, why not make them stop you multiple ways and not just one way? You don't allow the enemy to attack you one way. You make them come at you different ways. So, we gotta, the older people, I just feel like you gotta be more open and to listen to the younger people, because even though you've been here on the planet a lot longer, and I respect that, I got OGs, I seek counsel. I talk to my mom and my dad every day. But y'all gotta be more open and listening. And younger people, we gotta realize just because things change, sometimes the strategies the OGs got will still work. Or we take those same strategies and put a twist to it. And see, I seen Tate was out. Well, I don't know if he officially out. I seen that he was out, but I didn't hear what he said after he got out. But Tate said too much. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know if he guilty or innocent. I don't know if they're putting a jacket on him. I don't know. But I do know one thing. When you begin to talk and you begin to talk against a group, I don't care if it's the J group or the government group, they go shut you up. That's just what they go do. It's been proven time and time again. When you got documents saying that a government entity was behind the assassination of Martin Luther King, you just got to realize that when you begin to talk and you begin to change people's minds and change the way people look at things different, they want to stop you. You're going against their system. That's what happened to Jesus, right? Jesus got crucified for preaching the gospel against the Roman guard. You can't. They tell you even in that story, we look at it as a story of Christ being crucified for our sins. But if you look at the story, he got killed because he was going against the system, and the system didn't like it, so they had to take him out. That's just fact. If you believe in the Bible or not, that's what happened. Jesus Christ went against the Roman system, and the system wasn't taking it, and they took him out. Yeah, this is fact. Young people see the change, but history it still repeats itself. And that's what I say. Just the way I look at life and the way I go about life. What's good, Miss Queen? And Rome fell. Yeah, Rome did fall. Rome did fall. But the way I look at life now, I listen to a lot of what my OGs taught me because a lot of it got me to the point where I'm at now. And I had to modify some of it. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't success leaves a pattern, right? And when you begin to take that journey, that path, you tweak some stuff to make it work for you better. So that's why I say we can't throw out what the old people say, but the old people need to listen to what the young people got to say too, because like I said, it can be modifications made. You going to church in the morning, Queen? I should start. My step grandfather was a bishop, so like he didn't just teach me the Bible. He taught me how to understand the metaphors and allegories, and so that's why I say I look at it a little differently than everybody else. And like I say, I don't never knock no one's religious preference, spiritual preference, anything like that, simply because I understand them all. So there's no point in me telling you what's good or working for you that is right or wrong. That's how I look at religion in general or spirituality. I mean, just because um, as long as it's working for someone, I don't see the purpose of taking it away or trying to dispel what's working for them. But I mean, I think, like I said, is multiple ways to get to the same goal. Different paths you can take to get to the same goal. Some paths are shorter, some paths are longer. But I just believe that we need to stop. We need to stop separating ourselves because we have religious or even government beliefs. That shouldn't separate us as a people. And honestly, that's what it was created for, division. So I mean, understanding that, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. If the black church is building, if the black church is building culture for your family and is working for you, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. And see, with me, like I said, my grandfather was a bishop. So after he passed, church wasn't the same for me no more because he taught us the Bible. He didn't preach. So that was the difference. So me going into other churches, it was different. So me personally, I don't do the church thing, but this is what I tell people. If it works for you, good. And that don't make me look at you no less or anything. You know what I'm saying? I look at you for your actions, not your beliefs. And I know people say a lot of times your beliefs will dictate your actions, and that's true. If you're a righteous person, then no matter what you believe in, that's what you go do. I mean, if your religion or your spiritual system is good, it's gonna make you a good person. So that's gonna show through your actions. That's why I say if something is working for someone, it's not for me to judge them. You know, it's not for me to go to try to dispel the Bible if the Bible is making this person a better person and a productive person. Because I know people who would sit there and debate you about the Bible, but their actions and they got a whole different spiritual belief telling you it's better, but their actions don't prove that. So even if the Bible wasn't real, if it was fake, written by whatever you want to say about it, if it was that, and you trying to take this away from me and give me what you got, but what you got you out here living evil, why would I do that? Yeah, fellowship. And see, this what I will say this good about the church. If it's done right, that's a community. If it's done right, that's a community. People are working together inside and outside the church. That's why I say if it's good, it's good because that's what my grandfather did. He bought a bus and used to pick people up who couldn't make it to church. Never charged them. Every first Sunday he'd cook for the whole church. It'd be people who didn't come to church come eat. He didn't care because that's what he did. His church wasn't a big, pretty building. It was an old firehouse. But what you got when you went in there, it made you a better person when you came out of there. We need more of that. And he also taught, well, I ain't gonna say taught, but he gave like men skill, like man leaderships. We had like classes, as men on how to, especially young men, on how to grow into that role as a man. And I think that was very important. And I mean, it's just not a lot of stuff. We used to have programs like that. We ain't got programs like that no more. Because it is. I mean, you can look at the situation and point fingers, right? What's the reason black men ain't in the home, or men in general ain't in the home no more? What's the reason? Or we can sit here and point all these scenarios why it ain't happening, or we can say, okay, look, a lot of black families, a lot of families don't have men in the home in this community, so why not let's start a mentor program? And that's my problem with a lot of these groups. You sit back and talk about all the problems, but you ain't got no solution. We can sit here and complain about what this person or this group of people did. We can do that all day. But like I was saying, like with Judge Joe Brown, he was describing power. And basically what he was saying was, we can sit here and complain about all these different things, or we can do something about it. People asking questions as far as why they ain't teaching us this, why they ain't teaching us that, like why we ain't teaching each other. Even better yet, why aren't we interested in the things that can make us better? That should be the question. Because he made a good point, And I look at my son now, he's 3 years old, he a monster. And I got thoughts of him like, oh, what sport he go play? But I also got thoughts like this. What kind of scientist can he be? What kind of politician can he be? Sports run big in my family. So that's like a second nature thought, looking at his size. But I'm also thinking, like, can he be an artist? Like a painter, a philosopher? What can he be? He can be whatever he want to be, and I'm going to nurture what he wants to be. But I'm also expose him to things other than sports. I'm going to expose him to science. I'm going to expose him to mathematics. I'm going to expose him to astrology. At a young age, he getting his first telescope in a couple months. I want him to be interested in the stars before he can ride a bike, before he can dribble a ball. He'll be looking up at the stars. We got to take accountability. Ain't no more. Yeah, he was for my step grandfather was for the preacher. He actually was one of the men who carried Dr. Martin Luther King casket at his funeral. He was definitely for the people. Definitely for the people. And see, like, even Dominique, even this, right? You say I look at my children's numerology and see if their interest, and the numbers tell us that our children may be. Now, see, even that, I start teaching them that at a young age. I'm into geomancy. I'm gonna teach my son that. I'm into a lot of stuff, but I study a lot of stuff, and I use what worked for me, and I don't worry about the impact or what other people think, of me doing it my way. And that's another thing, because it's like I said, is multiple ways to get to the same goal. And I don't worry about if people agree or disagree with the way I'm getting there, and we got to stop doing that too. We got to stop caring what other people think about how we go about business. We got to stop seeking other people's approval for things. There's no purpose. It don't. When you seek someone else's approval on how you supposed to live your life, you begin to live their life. You begin to live life the way they see it, not the way you see it. And a lot of unhappiness, a lot of unhappy people, unhappy for the simple fact that they're not doing what they naturally want to do. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it, but it's because You know, you looking at a lot of people look at celebrities. A lot of people look at just famous people, influential people, and the, start looking at success from where them people at. You know, they want the cars, the name brand stuff. That's not success. Success is actually your own happiness. What makes you happy? You know, we got to get back to loving ourselves, having self esteem and self confidence. You know, because when you look outside yourself for those things, that's how you get manipulated. You know, when you look outside yourself um, for strength, you leave yourself open to be manipulated. And it's some stuff that, you know, we just don't get taught. But now listening to this, so yeah, that's where that internal conflict come from too. That's where that unhappy because they live in someone else's life and not listening to themselves. That's where you get that internal conflict from because you literally outside doing something that your inside telling you ain't right. You know, we it's almost like that the old cartoons when you have an angel on one side and a devil on one side, and the angel is your inner self telling you where you want to go and how to go. That devil is your flesh. That stuff that's on the outside you telling you to do this because it's fun. But yeah, it's been a lot of. I'm interested to see what that where that Andrew Tate. I know I'm just jumping. That's why I call it random thoughts. I'm interested to see where that in numerology is called at odds number or at odds. Hey, one day I'd like for you to come up here because I'm a I guess you want to call it a novice at numerology. So I understand it. I just don't practice it. That's one of the things. Probably down the road, I would be interested in practicing it because that's I believe in it. I mean, people showed me some crazy stuff, and in that what is it, gematria? They showed me some interesting stuff. Yeah, that it is interesting to see where that take go because, like I said, he talks about a lot of things that people that's controversial. Yeah, gematria. You study it all. So yeah, we're gonna have to. Do you got a page? If you got a page, do me a favor and drop your link in the chat. Yeah, if you got a page, drop your link in the chat. Hold on, I think I am. Am I subbed? I think I am subbed to you. I don't know, but if you got a page, make sure you drop your link in the chat. But yeah, that Andrew Tate, I'm interested to see. I'm even more interested to see how black YouTubers cover it because, like I said, I was disappointed in a lot of people the way they did Tank because they yeah. Hey, look, I'm the thing on here. Like I said, I believe everybody got something to offer, and no matter what you put out as content, just like this conversation, this is why I always invite people in and talk because you never know what a person might know, you know. And I'm an information whore. I love information. I love learning new things and how things work. So that's why I always tell people conversations build nations. You know, everybody got something to offer. And you never know what a person know or what resources a person got access to until you talk to them. And that's why I say I don't judge no walk of life. You know, unless you're doing some sick stuff, and I got a family I got to protect. You know, so I don't when people start doing weirdo stuff, but a person just honest and trying to build. I'm always trying to build. But yeah, that Andrew Tate is interesting to see where that go because, like you said, he been talking and saying a lot of stuff that goes against the grain, and usually people like that they like to shut up. They like to keep them quiet, and when they don't get quiet, sometimes strange things happen. But then you got people who talk a lot because they doing weird stuff. But I just want to see is these black YouTubers go give him the smoke like they gave Tank. Because, like I said, Tank just got arrested and it went no facts out. And I understand he got history, but we all do, and that's how we mature. That's how we grow from learning from past mistakes that we made. And some of us who made the mistakes when they were younger tend not to make them when they're older. And then you got people who never made those mistakes when they was younger. And then when they get older, they make the mistakes. So that's why I don't judge people. I just look at the facts. There's no purpose of really judging people without facts. Because like I said, that girl, what she wrote and what she did after how he came home to his house, that's crazy. And it happens, you know. And I can understand why he'd be a prime candidate for her to do that too, because he has a history, you know, and that happens a lot with people. If they got a pass, people will take advantage of that. That's why I tell people like, I don't dig up nobody's past because I was told a long time ago when you go digging up somebody's past, just remember that shovel can be used to dig up yours. So I look at people's actions, how they are today, and if they tell me they passed and it was, I ain't gonna say shady, but if they did some things in their past and they complete different from today, that just told me that they learned. These are the type of people you actually want to, talk to. These are the type of people you want to build to because they've been through something. They learned from those mistakes. People who never been through nothing, like I said, when they go through it at an older age, they tend to like crash out. They tend to it tend to impact them a lot harder. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing too. Men don't trust women because I can't say all, but a lot of women weaponize the police against men, and it was done to me before. You know, women have called police on me because they got pissed at me, and then when the cops came, one incident they took the woman. The other incident, she left the scene and she got a warrant out, put out for leaving the scene. But yeah, because it's like I'm standing 10 toes down, and if I gotta go, I'm gonna go. But you going to jail? I'm pressing charges once I get out. I didn't do anything, you know. But that's a reason why. That's a big reason why men don't trust women. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other reasons, and then we can get into the reasons why women don't trust men. And this is what I say about relationships. This is something big, like with me and my wife, right? The reason why me and my wife work, and I'm just being 100% honest, we haven't argued. We have discussions, but we don't argue. We don't fight. But the reason why me and her both work is because we are able to tolerate one another. No one's perfect, but my imperfections, she can tolerate them. And I'm just being honest. Her imperfections, I can tolerate them. There's some stuff she did or do that other women did I dated, and I couldn't stand it and I couldn't tolerate it. But for some reason, I can tolerate it because she's her. We give each other 100%, and that way, none of us is lacking. This just work for us. I mean, I'm not saying you got to find the right person. If you don't get the right person, you can't give them 100% if they ain't willing to give you 100% because you're gonna be lacking. But if y'all both giving each other 100%, nobody is missing anything. Like far as trust Like I tell my wife, I don't trust her. Just like people got faith in the creator, I got faith in my wife. I don't believe in the concept of trust. I know that might sound crazy, but that's what works for me. I just don't believe in the concept. I mean, because every time I trusted, that trust got broken. So it's like I need something else. And I chose faith. That's because women can't call their daddies or brothers or cousins, so they need to call the fake protect. And you know what? I did a video. Um, I can't remember the title. It's Are men a reason women are so aggressive? And what you just said, I wish you was in there for that build, because what I was saying in that video is that, like, the women in my family generally don't get into it with men. What they do is call. They make that call, and they know they don't have to, but man ain't there to protect women no more. You know, like, man, that's our primary, one of the primary designs, one of the primary reasons we're here is to protect the creator. Women are creators, no matter how you look at it. And while they're creating, our job is to protect them. We protect them from everything outside and everything inside, including ourselves. That's how I look at it. I'm not about the only time I will hit a woman, and and you have to agree with me, if my life is in danger, meaning if she's coming at me with a weapon and I can't get away, then I'm sorry, I gotta hit you. Other than that, I'm a man. I'm stronger than most women. If they hit me, I can stop them. And I don't mean I gotta punch them in the face or nothing like that. Let's just be real. If a woman hits you one time, yeah, look, man, a woman can hit you and hurt you. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying, if we real, if a woman hits you, you can stop her. And then you got to understand, as a man, I can't be with a woman who is willing to hit me. I would do that before I ball up my fist and hit a woman. And me, that's just how I was taught. Be a man. My mama tell you something though. My mama say, if a woman put herself in a man's place, you put her back. My mama don't believe women should hit men, and I don't neither. My mama preaches that to my sisters. I tell my sisters that, because you cannot dictate a person's reaction. Everyone ain't raised like me. So as a woman, I will implore you not to hit a man. I would. That's what I would do. But me personally, I'm not doing it. And I only say that because, like I said, you don't know how a person will react. So don't put yourself in that. I believe in putting myself in winning positions, winning situations. So don't put yourself in a situation where a man can hit you. But I think if men protected women, I don't think they'd be as aggressive as they are now. And that's not all women. I'm just saying the aggression we see out of women now is because it's a defense mechanism. They have to be that way because, like Dominique said, they can't call nobody. They daddy, they brother, they ain't got nobody to protect them. So now they have to protect themselves. Yeah, with your first husband, you said we didn't hurt yet. It tore me down, but I grew even stronger. Now, when you said it was too perfect and it tore you down, like, what do you mean by that? Oh, okay, hold on, let me see. His higher self, but when he put, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, that's and that's another thing, like I said, it is. I think we all do it to an aspect. We build ourselves up to this great idea, and then a lot of times, a lot of people don't follow through with it. What they say, fake it till you make it. But then and see, that's the thing. Like, It's like with my wife, I'm into a lot of stuff that she not into. You know, a lot of stuff like, but she listened to me. She tried to understand. You know, and that's the important part. And I practice everything that I preach. Like when you see a video about the 42 laws of Ma'at, that's what helps me stay balanced. You know, so I live that. Even when I talk about Bible verses, I practice those. You know, I understand the spiritual factor and the metaphysical factors of the Bible, and I practice those. And see, you know what? And I don't know, like I don't know your situation, but I'll tell you this too. This is not, you know, particularly pertain to your, but when I seen that, it just reminded me of a talking point I had a year ago with a friend. And when I said people, especially men, a lot of men are insecure, and when they see women, um, I'm gonna just say it, when they see women excelling or doing more than them, they feel like that took their manhood away. And a lot of times they go deal with something lesser to feel better about themselves. They go deal with a lesser woman to feel better about themselves, and them that's self-esteem issues. You know, if my woman got more than me, smarter than me, you know, more education, more money, that's fine with me. You know, because there's other things that I bring to the table, and that's just self-confidence. Like a lot of men aren't taught about self-confidence. Yeah, those 42, and I take you down a deeper rabbit hole, and I'll show you how to obtain your own 42 laws, because that's kind of, it's controversial, but when you look at it, those 42 laws was written for Annie. And when you understand the dynamics of um, the Book of the Dead and how everyone had their own individual, meaning they had different laws, different things to accomplish before death, is a little deep, and you can find your own. But those ones written for Annie pertain to, I think, the most common person, and that's why I utilize them. Oh, that is exactly what happened. Now, see, you know what? Like that's why I say, like I be feeling energy sometimes, and like when I talk or when I talk to somebody or you know here seeing something written, like stuff just come to me, and that like I said, that was a talking point. I was talking to a buddy of mine, explaining how, you know, men mess up most. I would say a high percentage of men mess up relationships with good women is because they don't have the self esteem, you know, and they feel like the women is greater. And 9 times out of 10, the person they leave and cheat with is a lesser version because that made them feel better about themselves. They ain't got no self esteem. And that's like when I met my wife, you know, she made more money than me, had a better car than me and everything. That ain't do nothing but make me step my game up, you know. So if a man, and I never looked at it as a competition, and that's another thing too. Like I don't understand why men feel the need to compete with a woman. It's like, especially when y'all in a relationship, it's not about, and men and women, but I can only speak for men. I can't speak on a woman. I'm not a woman, and I try not to do that. But man, y'all gotta stop competing with women, especially women you're in a relationship with, right? Like, is she great? Support her greatness, you know, because her greatness can open opportunities for you. And that's what I try to tell people. I don't want to tell that story. See, and that's what I'm saying. It'd be like competition. But see, Miss Queen, look, I agree with you. I agree with you. But I believe this too. Like, I'm still growing. I'm still learning, right? So even though I was raised by a woman, I still, like I said, I'm learning and growing. So I can still learn from a man, you know? So, like, to me, that like I understand that concept, but to me that's still laziness and that's still an excuse because even if you was raised by a woman in your adulthood, you gonna be around other men. So why not pick up some of the traits from the people who are in higher positions or leadership positions than you are? I just think people women feel oppressed by men, so they are somewhat programmed to compete. And see, I let the women speak on that because I'm talking about far as the part programmed to compete with men. I have to let women speak on that, and I have to that'd be something that I can learn. You know, give me another perspective because, like I said, I'm not a woman, but definitely oppressed. I'm gonna actually do a video on the patriarchy system, and I think it's trash. Because I think, I mean, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like with me, I was taught that. You know, I got a lot of strong black men in my family, even though they wasn't right there to directly influence me. But I always watched them and I always listened to them when they spoke. You know, but ultimately they wasn't like right there. But I always listened to them and I always watched them. And so that's why anytime I meet a brother, me personally, my first idea is to build with them, especially if I see you got a skill or a talent. I'm like, oh, I want to build. And then sometimes when you get to talking to people, they start getting standoffish. And I'm like, hold on, bro. It's like, I'm not, I don't compete with nobody but myself. Like, there's no purpose in me competing with anybody else because once I dominate them, I'm going to look for someone else. And instead of doing that, I just compete with who I was today. I mean, yesterday, and try to become a better person today. That's how I go about it. But yeah, I don't like black men. That's the thing. Like I feel the energy. You know, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room because then I can't learn. That's just how I feel. And if I am the smartest person in the room, then I need to bring everybody up to par. That's literally how I look at it. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room because I'm not gonna get nothing out of being in this room. And if I am, and the people in the room willing to listen, let's come up to my level. That's how I look at it. I'm not competing with nobody because, like I said, it don't accomplish nothing in my personal life to compete with anybody. I don't feel anybody can compete with who I am. You know, I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying there's people out there not better, smarter, or whatever than I am. But what I'm saying, they not better than me. You can't be a better version of me. I'm me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't what up, Papa Will? Yeah. And see I can even say that. But see all that is a all that's done to as a distraction. Is done I mean especially is to make you look at a black woman as a sex object. And when you begin to do that, you forget or you don't see all the other great things that they are and what they can do. You know, that's why I think that's done on purpose. They weaponized black women's sexuality a long time ago. You know, the first, hold on, I don't even think I got the slide, but in slavery, you know, they used to take the big breast and big butt black women, put them in the pig pen, and people would come and look at them and throw change at them. That's kind of like the first strip club. They used to do that to black women in slavery, you know, and we do it to black women today on social media sites, um, in general. You know, we got a lot, like you said, they misguided. We got a lot of young black women going to get cosmetic surgery on their body. You know, and I understand. You know, some women. might feel like this boosts my self-esteem. But the thing I learned about self-esteem is it comes from within. And no matter what you do on the outside, if you ain't got it within, you go continue to need things to boost it up. I learned that. Salute, Nate. I learned that with with my little issues. Like, I had a shunt put in my head, so I got a. Well, I learned it before then, but I'm just using this as an example now. I got a shunt put in my head, so now I have a dent in my skull. And then by them doing surgery, the hair by the surgery site never grew back, and plus I already had a bald spot. But at the end of the day, none of that matter, man. At the end of the day, none of that matter. I got my wife, so I'm satisfied, I guess. But even if I didn't, my outside don't tell you what's on the inside. And if you that vain to only care about my outside, then you're gonna miss out on the goodness on the inside, and that's your problem because somebody will see it. And that's what, in my opinion, my self-esteem is like. I don't really care how people look at me because it's not go. Even if someone, I appreciate any nice thing someone says to me, but I don't need it, if that makes sense. I had to get to that point where it's greatly appreciated, and I'm humbled when people say nice things about me because they don't have to. But it's not needed for me to succeed or do what I need to do. I don't go out looking for it. I don't do things for it. I'm not about to be nice to you because so you can say something nice to me. I'm not. I'm gonna be nice to you because that's who I am. And if people can't accept you for who you are, then it's like, why even want to be around them? We gotta start teaching our kids, self-esteem, self-love, because I didn't grow up with it, and it took me a while to figure it out. Even though my mother tried to put it in me, it was other people around me taking it out of me. So we gotta. It's a whole bunch of stuff. That's why they say it takes a community or a village to raise a child. Because even me as a father, with all the things that I know, there's a lot of stuff I don't know. But if it's the right people around me who do know, I don't have to worry about teaching my kid everything. And that's how it was done back in the day. That's exactly how it was done back in the day. It was a village who raised the child. It was different people who had different understandings and different ways to influence raising community, raising little kids. We can't do that. Honestly, it's hard because we go against each other. So why would I entrust my child to you? We hurt each other too much for me to trust my child to you. We got to build that trust back with one another. And the only thing we got to do is have good intentions when we dealing with one another. If you can't deal with somebody that look like you, I'm a true advocate of Neely Fuller. Dr. Neely Fuller, stay away from them. If you can't build or collab or create something positive with a black person, just stay away from them. I'm a true proponent of that. I try to do it. I swear I do. Papa, what you saying? You saying some comments? Y'all got excuse me, I only got half an eye, so I'm kind of reading these things slow. Oh, Nate the Great. Hey, this the bro Nate, man. Nate, drop your link in the chat. Hey, if y'all got channels, please drop y'all link in the chat so everybody can connect, because there's some great minds in here. And I'm blessed and I'm humbled that y'all in here rocking with me. Dominique, yeah, you got to drop your link too. And like I said, usually people who get you on the scratch off. Y'all crazy. But hey, Papa, man, we got to do a build too. Nate, man, we got to get it. I want to do. Hey, Nate, you know what I want to do? I want to do a panel on the lost art of becoming a man. because I think, and like I said, it ain't no way to bash people. Like I said, I do a panel because I think a lot of young men don't have that guidance or direction, don't even know where to look or start. And I think having different generations, different perspectives, I think we can give them choices. I think what I say might not resonate with them, but what you say might resonate with them, and that might be their path. But like I said before, instead of us looking at our differences, we can look at our similarities, like me and Nate do. We do stuff different ways, but we got the same goal to get information to the people, and hopefully the people can use it to make their lives better. Bring awareness to the people. And we do it different ways, but guess what? We tight, we linked up. And that's an example that can go out to a lot of people. You don't have to look at life from the same lenses to get along, to create. I mean, if you work a job, you got different departments. They all come together, get a job done, go back to their department, and then they go home. That's how we can operate as a people, if need be. Maybe that's how we need to start. If we can't tolerate, we can't tolerate each other, for a long period of time. Let's just do what we got to do and then leave and go our separate ways. I mean, that's what they did in Africa. Different villages came together, traded, and went back to their village. Like, even understanding that concept. I mean, if you believe in the transatlantic slave trade, then you would have to agree that all slaves that came over here went from the same tribe. So, us hoping or wishing that we all can come together as one people, we wasn't one people before. So that's what I try to tell people. Like, give people options. Just agree. If we can come, we need a peace treaty as black people. And I'm laughing because I'm dead serious. We need a peace treaty with one another. Like, look, let's just agree not to harm each other. Let's stay away from each other till the time that we can come together and do something positive. Other than that, let's just not deal with one another. I mean, maybe that'll work. We do a peace treaty because it's like we be having reasons to come together. Segregation was our will. We were only social for trade. You feel what I'm saying? And that's just some real stuff. Like, I don't see why it couldn't work. You know, I mean, it's a lot of, like, even a lot of content creators, right? I watch them, I support them. I I might not agree with the way they deliver messages, but that's not. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's some stuff that I can't rock with at all. But it's some stuff like, okay, just because I wouldn't do it that way, don't mean I gotta say they bad people. Because I don't believe that that's what it is. Just because I wouldn't do it that way. And as black people, like I said, we got different spiritual beliefs. We got different upbringings. You know, and a lot of times I feel the first thing we do is look at those differences instead of look at the similarities. Because I believe if we looked at what we had the same goal, like to get from under this thumb, and if we just focused on that, I think we can accomplish it. You know, I would I would tell everyone to please go listen to Judge Joe Brown on thought5's podcast because he was giving it to you raw. That's the only way I could say it. He was giving it to you raw. He was telling you, if you um as a man, you do what you have to do by any means necessary to take care, to protect, and to defend what's yours. And if you're not willing to do it, somebody go take it from you. If you're not willing to educate your own children, somebody else will educate them for you. He didn't say that. These are my words now. But If you're not willing to educate your own kids, somebody else will educate for you. If you're not willing to exercise your own mind the way you think, somebody else will control that. You and sometimes, like he literally said, sometimes it's better to die for a cause. Just sometimes it is. I mean, if you, with my kids, right? I'm willing to go for them. I'm willing not to be here no more for my children. And if we understand, that, we'll understand at some point that if we don't correct or begin to correct now the things that is wrong in this world for us, they go suffer worse. They go suffer worse. I mean, even having these conversations, right? We were mixed together to control our money, not to advance us and set us back. Exactly. And see, and that's what, and honestly, like Nate, I don't want to throw you under the bus or nothing like that, bro. But I truly feel that's what we doing now. You know, even Nate, he, like I said, I was ready. I was getting frustrated with this because it's like I'm just looking at YouTube. I'm looking at the world. Like people would never come together, but I go in Nate's chat and I start seeing more different faces. People just talking, laughing. We building together. And I'm like, okay, well, let me start. Let me go a little harder, or let me not think negatively about it and just do it. And eventually, the right people will come, because everybody, we can't take everybody. We can't deal with everybody. It's just not. It can't be that way, because if it is, we see what happened in the past. You see, the Black Panther Party got infiltrated because they let the wrong people in. So we literally got to get back to like a tribe mind. And like I said, yeah, the real ones go come together. They go feel the energy and come together. It's gonna be some once the train start rolling, some people will try to jump on it. You know what I'm saying? People will try to jump on the train once it start going down the track. You gonna sit there, you gonna build the track, got the destination, now we ready to roll. And as soon as the train pull up, you have people trying to jump on the back. That's gonna happen. But those people, I mean, I feel by then it'll be standards established, and you'll be able to see. You'll truly be able to see who there for the right intent and who there for the wrong intent. We just got to continue to educate ourselves and understand what we are and who we are. And I think as long as we do that and we stay focused, I think we'll be all right. Yeah, you don't want everyone. We want the right ones, right? Exactly. And see that's my that's my dilemma. But that's why even the way I talk and what I talk about it in a way it'll draw the right people, you know. And a lot of the things I say is gonna turn a lot of people off, and that's exactly what it's designed to do, because those are the people who aren't ready. And when I say aren't ready, aren't I'm just saying they ain't willing to use their own mind. They're still using a mindset that was given to them. There's a lot of people don't realize that um, they're programmed and they're functioning highly off the program that they was given, and don't understand that. You know, and there's a lot of stuff still in me that I'm trying to get out of me. So we all gonna be a work in progress. We all gonna be a work in progress, but there's people functioning highly off of that program, and is a self-destruction program. You know, the culture they try to give us, the history they try to give us. All that, and the ones who don't seek, I'm not even, you can't even say truth, but the ones who don't seek facts, when you don't seek facts, you'll get a truth. And the truth ain't nothing but something that a lot of people agreed to. That's what a truth is. Anything can be a truth as long as the mass agree to it. Agree to say it's so, then it's so. That's what Judge Jones, he alluded to that, and it was deep because this is a judge, and he was basically telling you power controls everything. The power. So if they want to say you black, if they want to say you brown, if they want to say you dogs or cats, they have the power to do so. And that was deep. And it went over a lot of people's head. It went over a lot of people's head what he was telling us, in the way he was saying it. And he understood almost all the different angles where we can say that this was done to us. But if something was done to us and we know it, why we ain't undoing it? That's always been my question. Or not even why we ain't undoing it, why we ain't doing nothing about it. Why do we still celebrate their holidays? They're not ready, right? Yeah. Only the right ones. Facts the people that feel you, hear you, and the ones that don't want. And that's what, and you know what? I used to, when I came into information studying certain things, I was so naive. I'm like, I'm about to give this to everybody. And then I realized that it's not valuable if ain't nobody asking for it. And it blew my mind because I'm like, hold on, bro, look at this. Let me show you this. Look, let me teach you this. Nah, man, I don't want. I'm like, why you don't want to know this? This makes a world of difference. This can change our lives, bro. I'm trying to even teach things that I learned as far as life insurance, right? I'm trying to tell all young black people, like, get it while you young. Get a universal policy. You know why? Because you're going to be paying the same price for the rest of your life. And guess what? It's going to accrue. You're going to build. You can retire off of this policy when you're 66. When you're 65. You can have close to like 900,000. I'm going to show you how to do it. Nah, man, that don't even. But then they go sign over with the white man who gave him a term. Like, bro, you just realize what you did? Yeah, you paying a couple dollars, but when that term is over and you go get another life insurance policy, you're going to have to pay more. And guess what? You have nothing built up from it. So all the money you put into it, you ain't getting nothing out of it. we got to start listening to one another. And I know we got snake oil salesmen in our community, but we got to at least learn how to listen to information and analyze it. Analyze it, because a lot of our people got some great information, but we don't listen to them because they might not have a degree. They might not have, and I'm going to say it like this, they might not have what the white man told you they need to have for them to be credible. But guess what? A lot of the great minds self-studied. A lot of the great minds, they self-studied. But then even when you get a Dr. Ben or a Dr. Clark who got the credentials, we don't listen to them. Not until they dead. Then everybody want to quote them after they dead. Like, what you do when they was alive? Both of them men died broke. Both of them men sacrificed their whole life to tell black people where they came from and what their original spiritual or religious belief was. And they died broke by themselves. Like this. Yeah. You have to know the differences. You can't. They will put you on a cross and throw stones at you. Hey, Papa. Hey, man. It's like You can't build with ignorant people, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I truly believe. Like, do you know? Like, when you sitting back and you having an intellectual conversation, and then somebody come in being ignorant. That to me is like, I believe in energy, and that's just telling me I'm building with the right people, and something is trying to stop me. That's how I look at it. That's the most positive way I can say it. Oh yeah, term life. Look, you know what term life is good for? Term life is good for if you got like a mortgage, right? Say if you married or you're not married and you bought a house, and if something happened to you, what that term life policy can do is pay the house off and go to either your spouse, your kids, or something. That's what term is good for. Term is good if you. That's. I mean, if you have a universal policy and you want some extra money on top of it, that's what term is good for. But as a sole policy, terms are garbage. I promise you, you wasted so much money. You wasted, unless you know you about to die within X amount of years, then you go term. But if you ain't expecting to die, I, universal policies have what they call living benefit. Like I said, when my son, he's 3 now, right? When my son is 18, he'll have 90, close to $90,000 he'll have access to. So that's basically his college fund. You know, if he hold that until he 30, he'll have close to 130, 140,000. If he hold it until he's 65, he'll have close to $1 million. That he can cash that out, take the money, and then use some of that money to buy a burial policy. So that's why I say it's no point. Like when I was doing real estate, that's what made me get into life insurance, because I had 3 clients buy houses by cashing in a life insurance policy. All the houses was over 300,000, and they all paid the house off with a life insurance policy. That's why I'm like, damn. And if you a salesperson, it's an easy hustle. It's an easy hustle. Everybody gonna need it, and once you explain how it works, people go buy it. Especially, like, I hate to say it, but I have more white people buy life insurance policies from me than black people, unfortunately. Term life. Yeah, and see, I want to do a video about the ego too, because you know a lot of people don't understand the levels of the ego. I say it like that. I'm not gonna say they don't understand what the ego is, but it's different components to the ego that if you don't, I'm at peace with mine. Like, there's nothing you can get rid of as a part of you, but you, in my opinion, you can become at peace with the ego, and once you do that, it can't hold you back. It was the Bible by choice. I didn't think I was better. I just knew I was different, right? I used a copy of the dictionary before reading the Bible. Yeah. Now I give y'all one better. I couldn't. Like I said, my grandfather was a bishop, and the first 2 times we went through it, he read me Hebraic. I don't know if y'all familiar with the Masoretic text, but it was a Hebraic version of the Bible, and he was showing me the differences as we was going through it, from the English version to the Hebraic version, and showed how the meanings and understandings be changed for the translation of words. That's why a lot of times when I used to, debate, that was one of the points that couldn't be um, couldn't be challenged. Like, you lost the whole perspective of the writer when you changed it from one language to the other language, because when you do that, you got to think about it. Like if someone's speaking another language, you ask them what did that mean, they can tell you what is similar to, but it never truly translate over to that meaning. They tell you, well, it's like this, but it's a different. When you speak the language, words give you different emotional connections, which gives you different perception. And so when you go to another language, you're talking about a whole nother culture, a whole nother way of living. The way they think and live is different. So once that language is translated into another language, you lose that. He ain't let you watch TV. I don't blame, but look at what you become. I mean, I was influenced heavily by TV. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle baby. Yeah, I made peace with my ego. Um, like I wasn't in jail, but I closed myself out. You know, you have one of them traumatic life events and you kind of shut everybody out. That's what I did, and I made peace with my ego at that point. So you do truly need solitude, because if you don't, that's why the monks isolate themselves. You know, because the outside world can influence your inside world if you haven't properly been informed on how to prevent it. And even if you know how, a lot of times certain situations or incidents or people, you know, can be so detrimental that even if you know how to not let the outside influence you, it still will. That's why, like, even me, I'm careful about environments I go in, because, you know, I grew up in the hood. So you put me in the hood setting, I'm going straight into survival mode, you know, and it's something that is impossible to get out of me, I guess. I guess it is, because um I mean that when you're in an environment like the environments I grew up in, if you ain't the hunter, you the prey. So going into settings like that, I just understand that I want to survive. So that's what you got to do. But yeah, you do, especially with your ego. You gotta seclude yourself. You gotta go into solitude and work on it. And like I said, find peace with it. And like I said, it is different. Like the ego is truly not bad. It's just protecting you in a sort of way. It is but like I said, if you don't understand it, it can be protecting you from the wrong thing. Like the portion of my ego that was big was I didn't like to be wrong. You know, so even if I was wrong, I knew how to be right. I just had to be more convincing. And now that I'm at peace with my ego, I'm actually intrigued when I'm wrong, because now I get the opportunity to learn. That's how I made peace with my ego, was understanding that being wrong wasn't nothing hurting me. It can only help me, because if I'm wrong and I continue to do the wrong thing, I'm gonna never get it right. So it's okay to be wrong. It's not bad. I mean, if you wrong, then you get the opportunity to be right. It's literally the way you look at it. Yeah, and see, and see, look, I'm in the suburbs now, and like I said, I'm not perfect. I get up here and I talk about positivity because I'm a positive person, but like I said, I still got things to work out. So I'm in the burbs now, and I've been in this area for about 2 3 years, 2 years now. And so I'm not used to no. I got the Ring doorbell. I got cameras around my house. I'm not used to nobody unless it's the package people, but they don't ring the doorbell. They just drop the package off and leave. I'm not used to people coming to my house unannounced. And one of my neighbors did. And I don't know him. Like, you never introduced me. Only time he seen me smoking a black, he asked me, hey, can I have one? I give it to him. So he come down my house at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm talking to him through the doorbell like, I ain't got no blacks, bro. You gotta go. My baby here. I just brought my baby home. So no, I'm not even opening my door. And I'm looking like he not listening to me. So my first instinct, my first instinct is go grab that boy. And okay, I'm gonna say it one more time, then I'm putting holes through the door. That's how I was thinking. And I'm like, okay, I can't do that. I can't do it. I don't think he mean no harm. I'm pretty sure he know he on camera. But that was my first instinct. Like, come on, I'm asking you to leave and you're not leaving. So now I got to make an extra peephole or two. But it's like, that's how I was, in the hood. You had to, like, I'd never answer my door without that thumper, because that's how you get caught slipping where I'm from. So you always answer the door with a hammer. But it's like, I got to get out of that. But yeah. Yeah, with and see that was one of the I learned a lot of like, even like, it's the concept, tunnel vision and stay focused, right? And you understand the concept of focus on what you have instead of what you don't have. And to be honest with you, until I lost my sight, because I can only see in one eye and I have no peripheral in that eye I can see out of. So it's like literally I got permanent tunnel vision, right? But those concepts made more meaning after I never had to practice them. But now I physically do, because I have to look where I'm going, or I'm gonna trip and fall over stuff. I got a 3-year-old and he into cars. So there's cars all around my house, toys all around my house. I got a German Shepherd. If I'm not looking down, I don't see her. So it's like I literally have to focus on what's in front of me. And by doing that, it helped me understand those ideologies. Literally, I don't care about what I don't have, because I'm appreciating what I do have. And I stay focused on what's in front of me and not around me all the time. And when I say that, I'm not saying you shouldn't be aware of your surroundings, but what I'm saying is, don't allow things around you to knock you off your course. Don't allow anything in the world. We all go through some shit, right? So when you wake up in the morning, put some boots on and get your rag and put it in the back. So when you get done walking in the shit for the day, you can clean the boots off and get them ready for the next day. That's my motto with life. We all go walk through shit. It's just something that's gonna happen. But the longer you stand in the shit, the longer it's gonna smell. So why not just go through it? That's how I have to live life like that. I have no choice. I have no choice but to push through. I don't know. I've been through so much. I've been shot. I've been stabbed. I've been told I couldn't do this, told I couldn't do that. Told I never achieved this, and I just kept going. I don't know. That part was probably pre-programmed in me, but I'm telling you, it is necessary. I guess it's necessary, because I don't care what walk of life you come from, you will go through something in life. Even rich people got problems, and if you notice, those be the most people committing suicide, because once they figure out their money can't buy their happiness, it's like, what else do they got? You know, you know what, Dominique? I appreciate that, but I got family and I got friends, and my story it don't compare to theirs, and that's why, like, I look at, if I didn't have them to look at, a lot of the strength I have probably wouldn't be there too. I seen, like, hearing stories from my grandmother. I couldn't imagine somebody snatching a family member on my house and hanging them from a tree. I couldn't imagine that as a kid. I couldn't imagine that. Like my grandmother been through so much, and she was one of the most feistiest, upbeat. I'm gonna get this shit done no matter what people I ever known. So it's like, and that's why I tell people too. I try to tell people what I've been through in hopes that it do help them, because it's stories that I heard that helped me. So if my situation, my perspective can help somebody get through a hard time or something they're struggling with, that's why I share. You know, I share my bruises, my lumps, and I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't do the I don't ever want anybody to feel sorry or even empathetic for me, because I just feel like I was meant to go through this. I was meant it was meant for me because I'm strong enough. I know other people who went through less and couldn't take it. I know other people who went through more and took it. And I just look at the people who went through more than me and still standing and still trying to achieve goals, and they inspire me. And I don't know. I just feel like I don't ever want to take advantage of anyone. And I think that's one of the reasons too why I say I don't want um, people's sympathy or empathy, because I understand when people give those emotions, they become open and vulnerable. And a lot of people in life do that. They tell you this sad story about what they went through, and you feel bad for them. And that's how they lullaby you, right? So I don't ever want no one to say that, the word sitting on there telling sad stories about itself. Um, and it is, I don't know, it's just the way I think. I don't open myself, or I don't allow other people to be open to my sympathy or my empathy, or empathy for me, because I don't ever want them to feel like I took advantage of them. And that's just one of the avenues I know people use. I guess that's the only way I can say that or think that. But then, like I said, I don't feel sorry for myself. Like when when I run into the wall, I laugh. I hit an old lady with a buggy by mistake the other day at the grocery store. I felt bad, but I'm like, damn, I didn't even see her. I laugh at it a lot. But yeah, it's a lot of there's a lot of people's story that's inspired. Even yours, like you said, how you got through your first marriage, and how you persevered, how you put yourself in solitude to find yourself. There's a lot of women who go through that and don't know how to take it. So I think we all got a unique and inspiring story. I think we all do, because like I said, most of us been through stuff. And you can always tell the people who've been through stuff. You can always tell, like when a person actually been through something, because it's the way they treat other people. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. That's what I see. That's what I normally know. Usually, when people go through stuff and they came through it and learned from it, they usually the people who try to inspire or build up other people. I say it like that. Hold on, Papa, what you say? Man, I ran into a car on my mobile chair because he pulled out into the sidewalk as I was You straight, bro? You ran into a car, man. You know what? I had a buddy. I got shot, and I was picking with him, and I was like, hey, he had just got a new chair, and I'm like, man, that chair ain't fast. I was like, I can outrun you. He was like, all right, stand in front of me. And I said, okay. As soon as I put my foot there, man, he ran over my foot with that chair. That damn chair was so heavy. He was like, talk about my chair again. I've never talked about his chair. I don't even talk about chairs no more. I'm straight. But yeah, I think we all. I think everybody got something to offer. Everybody got something to bring to the table. No matter how big or small it is, I think it is needed to build. Because at some point, like I said, we gotta. It's probably not go. It's not gonna be my generation. Sorry, Papa. It's not gonna be your generation either. But what happens when we do expire? I was always told when an elder expires, a library burns down. There's so much information that we hold, and if we don't share it, it'll be forever lost. Like when me and Papa was doing that build, we was hitting subjects from different angles, giving different understanding to the subject, adding to one another, building. That's what I'd say. I always like to build because we might both know about a particular subject, but my perception is going to be different from yours. So instead of saying who's right or who's wrong, let's put it together and see what's right. Let's build on top of that. Because, like I said, if I'm wrong, now I have the opportunity to learn the right thing. Why would I want to keep? Don't allow your ego. That was the most important thing to me. I couldn't allow my ego to hinder my growth. That's like even now. Like I said, I'm when it comes to defending my family and stuff, I'm a very aggressive person. But I understand now that I'm older, I have to be here to protect my family. So I have to think before I react. Because if I would have shot through that door, I wouldn't have been here to protect my family. So like when we encountering people, that's why I'm not so hot headed no more. I'd rather if you put me in a situation where I had to defend myself, I done already thought about how I'm going home, if that makes sense. So if somebody ever put me in a situation where I had to defend myself, I already got a strategy how I'm going home. We can do that. We should be doing that. Instead of what they call being crash dummies, put yourself in a winning position. Just because somebody call you out your name don't mean you gotta do anything. Put yourself in a position if you do have to do something, you going home. That's why I try to teach my young bulls. Don't react off emotion. React off intelligence. And then the reaction becomes a response. I try not to react. I try to respond to things now. Because the reaction is an action off of action, meaning someone controlled you. You did something because someone did something. A response is an intelligent, I guess you want to call it reaction, but it's with intellect. You thought before you did something. You thought it out. We have to start thinking because a lot of times people will do stuff just to get us to react. And we call it where I'm from, we call it more control. Like it's literally people people will literally put you in a situation for you to react so you can either, become expired or you go to jail. And they do it intentionally. I know people who did that, so I know it's being done in the world. You can see it on this app. People will put you in the situation, and if you ain't aware, you will react, and the whole time they controlled you to do so. So we have to be careful. You can feel the humble inside of it. Yeah, I hit the side of the car because he was looking the other way and just pulled out in front of me. Disrespect. And see that's another thing too. Like, this society is nothing like the one. I got raised by old school people. My mother and my father was young when they had me, so my grandmother raised me for the first 9 years of my life. So I got raised by older people. So I'm always respectful to older people and always look out for older people. Because one day I'm gonna be old And I hope the karma that I put out comes back to me. If my children will look out for me, I'm hoping if I needed it, someone in society would look out for me. That's just a hope. But that's why I treat older people with respect. I treat everybody with respect. I mean, that's just who I am. But if you show me you don't deserve it, then I'm gonna just try not to deal with you before I disrespect you. And that's just my personal way of living life, to stay here for my family, because that's the important thing. No matter what I do in life, I got to be here for my family. That's my responsibility. I am a protector and a provider, and that's my first job. And after that, then I can get into the other stuff. But nothing I do will even be worth it if I can't do what I'm designed to do. And what I'm designed to do is to protect and produce for what I created, which is my family. Oh, it was good talking to you too. Hey, come through next time. Hit the link. I don't know if it's still up there, but yeah, I'm probably about to end the show. I gotta check on my. Oh, there she go. That's my wife. Yeah, I gotta call and check on my baby. But yeah, Dominique, anytime, I always drop the link, and especially like with these random thoughts or anything I'm talking about, feel free to jump on, hit the link, and we engage in dialogue. Because like I said, that's what we do. We hold conversations to build nations. Building is the key to understanding. That is true. That is true. Well, let me recap real quick. I think, and we talked about the Tank Davis. Tank is vindicated. I think I'm probably gonna do a video on that, probably either later on tonight or tomorrow. But Tank Davis has been vindicated, and I want to see all the black bloggers give that man some respect. And y'all putting his jail picture up. Y'all having discussions about his past that I think that was unfair before all the facts came out. And like I said, if we can start giving each other black privilege because no one else is going to do it, I think that's a start, or at least at minimum, the black benefit of the doubt. Let's wait before we judge one another until the facts come out. Let's stop demonizing one another in public. You know, that's a start. We talked about Andrew Tate. I want to see if they give Andrew Tate the smoke. If he did right or wrong. I'm just interested to see if they go at Andrew Tate like they went at Tank Davis. Not saying that Tate guilty or not guilty. I just want to see how the black community cover that information. What else we talk about? Oh, Doe Eyes. Shout out to Doe Eyes. If y'all not subscribed to her, we'll probably be doing another membership giveaway, so make sure y'all sub up. She had a great conversation with Judge Joe Brown and Papa Duck. And like I said, they had some tension in between them at times, but at the end, I believe they agreed to disagree, which I think we all could agree to do if we have differences. But I think the older generation and the newer generation, I think we need to work on communicating with one another. I think that's a must because we do need the guidance of the elders. And the elders, y'all need the muscle. Y'all need the new, fresh minds. So I think at some point that discussion need to be had. I think that was my second or first video. I think I'm gonna do a part 2 of that. So if you're watching this on a replay, if you're watching it live, and you'd be interested in joining that panel, let me put my email up here. Email me because I need at least 2 older and 2 younger generations. I can get the people myself. I can ask my family to cooperate with me, but I'm trying to reach out to more YouTube subscribers and creators because, like I said, my family has no problem coming on having conversations, but I would like to connect with other people. I'm connected with them already, so these discussions we always have. But yeah, that's my email. And don't get afraid of the three sixes: six protons, six electrons, six neutrons create carbon, and that's the base form of melanin. So I ain't on no devil stuff. I'm just telling you, I'm melanated. That's it. What else we talk about? Just general conversation, I guess, about um, self confidence, self esteem, and like I said, I think the change that's needed, it starts in the mind. We can do all this. We can rebuild Black Wall Street. We can do all that, but until we change our mindset, we will continue to see what happened in the past. I mean, to do better, we got to think better. And I believe that starts with our emotions, because a person's emotion dictates the perception, and the perception dictates how you choose or decide to do things or interact in the world. So understanding the emotions is a huge step. Like, we think we know what each emotion or how each emotion affects us, and we don't. You know. So those are my points. That's what I talk about. I mean, I can sit here, if you want to talk history, you want to talk religion, I can do all that with you. But ultimately, studying all that, I ran into the same conclusion. Studying all the history, studying religious texts, I ran into the same conclusion. It's about the mindset. It's about the way you think. It don't matter what religion you follow. It don't mind you where the black people started. None of that stuff matters if you ain't doing nothing with it. Like, what is it tangible for? What are you using it for? How are you using it to make your life better? I think that should be more the focus than if it happened or not. You know. But that's all I got for you. Do me a favor. If you're new here, hit the subscribe. If you haven't already, hit the like button. And if I said something to resonate with you, do me a favor and click that share. Help me spread the word, man. Conversations build nations, and I'm out.